going to start in the Siddur supplement, the little handout on page 2, Olam Chesed Yibaneh. The world is built on loving kindness. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Dai, Dai, Da, Da, Dai, Dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Dai, Dai, Da, Da, Dai, Dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Dai, Dai, Da, Da, Dai, Dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Dai, Dai, Da, Da, Dai, Dai. I will build this world from love. Yadadai, Dai, Dai, Da, Da, Dai, Dai. And you must build this world from love. Yadadai, Dai, Dai, Da, Da, Dai, Dai. And if we build this world from love, Yadadai, Dai, Dai, Da, Da, Dai, Dai, then God will build this world from love. Yadadai, Dai, Dai, Da, Da, Dai, Dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Dai, Dai, Da, Da, Dai, Dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Dai, Dai, Da, Da, Dai, Dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Dai, Dai, Da, Da, Dai, Dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Dai, Dai, Da, Da, Dai, Dai. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to TCS in person. Welcome to TCS online. We're one big community, even though we might not seem so big in person right now. It's the summer, it's August, and it is so good to have some rain today. I always have some mixed feelings because I don't like to walk outside and get wet in the rain, but we need this rain so badly. It's such a blessing to have this rain today. We need more of it. This is barely making a dent in what we need, but it's a good sign. It's a start. We have a beautiful Parsha Torah portion of the week. This Shabbat, is Parshat Devarim, which is the beginning of the book of Deuteronomy. The book of Deuteronomy, in the Hebrew name for the book is Devarim, the name of this Parsha. That's always the case, where we the first Parsha, the first portion of a book of the Torah, is the name of the book. And it's a fascinating word, Devarim. Devarim means words, among other things. The Torah portion begins, these are the words that Moses spoke to the Israelites that Moses spoke to the Israelites on the other side of the Jordan. Eleha Devarim, there's that word, Asher Diber Moshe El Kol Yisrael, to all Israel, Be'ever HaYarden. Bamidbar Ba'arva Mul Sof Bein Paran Uvein Tofel V'Lavan V'Chatzerot V'Di Zahab. This listing places through the wilderness in the Arabah, that's a section near Suf between Paran and Tofel, Lavan, Chazerot. So it's really giving us the geography. And the interesting thing about this, there are many interesting things about this, but I'll just mention one right now, that word, devarim, davar is the singular, devarim is plural. It translates it here as these are the words. And it does mean words, but it means a lot more than words also. It means concepts. It means ideas. For example, the 10 Commandments, as we call them in English, what is the name of that in Hebrew? The name of that in Hebrew is Aseret HaDevarim. The 10 words, concepts, ideas, so it really makes one think about the importance of words. That words are not just a collection of letters or sounds making a sound to communicate something cut and dried. Words are symbolic. Words have ideas attached to them. And words have emotions, and words have consequences. For example, another curiosity of this Shabbat is that this Shabbat is both Tisha B'Av and it's not Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av, you might know, it's not a holiday. It's a sad marking day of the Hebrew calendar, of the Jewish calendar, the saddest day of the year. It's the commemoration of the destruction of both of our holy temples in Jerusalem, and many other tragedies are ascribed to that day. And today, according to the Jewish calendar, it's Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av just means ninth, Tisha, 9, B'Av, of the month of Av. And that is the calendar date today. However, we don't commemorate Tisha B'Av because the rabbis in their wisdom told us if Tisha B'Av, if the 9th day of Av falls on Shabbat, Tisha B'Av will be the 10th day of Av. So Tisha B'Av actual commemoration, the observance will start at the end of Shabbat, not during Shabbat, because Shabbat is our time of joy and rest and renewal, and we don't want to have such a somber day on Tisha B'Av, on Shabbat. What do these things have to do with each other? Is according to history, why were the temples destroyed? Because we were surrounded by more powerful neighbors and we didn't submit. According to Jewish tradition, that's not why the temples were destroyed. And that's not why the tragedies happened. Why did the tragedies happen? According to our tradition, it was because people were needlessly cruel to each other within our community. People used words, devarim, poorly. People used them to hurt rather than to help. There is a story that's often shared about two prominent Jews in the community, and one insulted the other so badly that the one who was insulted did some things that led the Romans to one thing leading to another, for them to crack down on the Jews, leading to the destructions of the temple. Is that historically accurate? I don't think so. Is that emotionally, psychologically useful? Maybe it is. Because a lot of bad things happen because people are needlessly cruel to each other. Do we have to talk about, look at our country now. We're having an orgy of needless cruelty to each other right now. And I pray that we stop soon. Because Olam Chesed Yibaneh, the world is built on kindness, not on cruelty. So, let's have some kindness. Let's have some wonderful Shabbat vibes. And we'll start with bringing in some light. And I neglected to ask anyone to light candles. May I ask the Putterman women to light some candles? You don't need to say anything. I'll do the blessing. You just need to light a match and light the candles. Although I'm sure you could say the blessing, but we'll sing the blessing together. So just come on up here. There's some matches, and there's if you don't mind reading an English reading, just pick anyone on there. And
which one?
Just randomly pick one.
All right. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Take in some of that holy light, that healing light, that kindness light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you. We continue on page 13 of the Siddur with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharim, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We turn now to page 20. And we are on the Hebrew side in the psalm at the top of the page, the last line. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom, which means may God give strength to God's people. May God bless God's people with peace. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo, Adonai Shalom, Adonai, yivarech et amo, v'shalom, v'shalom, Adonai, oz le'amo yitain, Adonai, oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo, Adonai yivarech et amo, v'shalom, Adonai yivarech et amo, v'shalom, v'shalom, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo, Adonai yivarech et amo. We turn now to page 21 for Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekar lelah. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, ishmi'anu el ha'miyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shmo echad. L'shem u'tiferet v'litehila, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekar Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh v'machshava tchila lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabela lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat Hitorari, kiva orech, kumi uri, shir daberi. Kevod Adonai alayich nigla, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, toch emunei am segula. Bo'wi chala, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Please remain standing if you are able for Chatzi Kaddish on page 27. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah v'yalmad divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael v'gala uv'izman kariv v'yimeru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach ve'alam ulam me'amaya yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitramam ve'yitnaseh ve'yitadar ve'yitaleh ve'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol virchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran be'alma v'yimeru amen. Please still remain standing if you were able as we turn in the Siddur supplement to page 5 for Am I Awake? And we'll go right from that into Baruch Hu, which is on page 28 in the Siddur if you need that. Yadidai-dai-dai, 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 yadidai-dai-dai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yadidai-dai-dai, 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 yadidai-dai-dai. You may be seated. We turn to page 29 in the Siddur for Ahavat Olam as we sing of God's love for us before we express our devotion to God in the Shema. And God's love for us is manifest primarily through God's guidance and wisdom to take us through our lives in the form of the Torah. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot u'kimu mishpatim otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shokveinu v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hein chayenu le'orech yameinu uvahem neged yomam v'layla ve'avatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. The Shema is on page 30. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. We continue on page 31, 6 lines down, 3 words in. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We turn now in the Siddur supplement to, oh, my page is cut off. It's probably page 6. 7? Thank you. We will sing at the bottom of the page, Walking in the Light of God, into Michamocha. The text of Michamocha you'll find above. We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking, we are walking, we are walking, we are walking, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, we are walking, we are walking in the light of God. Bikamocha ba'elim Adonai, bikamocha nehedar b'kodesh, bikamocha ba'elim Adonai, bikamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Norah, tehilot, osei feleh. Norah, tehilot, osei feleh. Malachutecha ra'u banecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe. Malachutecha ra'u banecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe. Ze'eli anu ve'amru Adonai yimlo le'olam va'ed. We are walking. We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking. We are walking. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking. We are walking. We are walking in the light of God. please turn to page 34 for Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat לדורותם ברית עולם יאי ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. We now turn to page 35b in the Siddur, and please rise if you are able for the Amidah. Adonai Safatai Tiftach Ufi Agi Tehilatecha Adonai Safatai Tiftach Ufi Agi Tehilatecha Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot, U'Mevi Goel Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava. Melech Ozer Ufoked Umoshia Umakein Baruch Atah Adonai Magin Avraham Ufoked Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaye Metim Atarav Le'oshia Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechaye Metim Berachamim Rabim So make Noflim V'Rafei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Micha Mocha Ba'al Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Memit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Atah L'Hachayot Meitim Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayei HaMeitim Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kadoshim B'chol Yom Yehalelucha Selah Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Please continue privately, either with the words on the page through page 38, or with the prayers from your own heart and mind. We continue on page 38. It's the end of the middle paragraph. Oseh Shalom. It starts the last word of the third line from the end of the paragraph. Oseh Shalom, Shalom Bimroma, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru Amen. Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Oseh Shalom, Shalom Bimromah, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael, Ve'imru Amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael, Amen. It's now the time in our service that we think of those who need our prayers of healing. Someone who might be ill or injured physically or psychologically or mentally, however they need healing. We think of them at this time. In our congregational list, we are thinking of Phyllis Burke, wife of Norm Burke, Perez Abud, Rhonda Fleming's cousin's wife, Arthur Campbell, friend of Craig Barger, Tony Casella, father of Franny Spivak, Valerie Frank, friend of Craig Barger, Jonathan Gardner, grandson of Rona Slotnick, David Glazer, son of Amy Glazer, Justin Israel, Jay Kelly, Cheryl Leahy, sister of Mike Cohen, Nancy Meyer, sister-in-law of Joni Meyer, Tal Schechter, Albert Schechterman, stepbrother of Mary Schreiber, Michael Schreiber, son of Mary and Paul Schreiber, Cindy Sherman, daughter of Judy Romaine, Iris Sherman, daughter-in-law of Judy Romaine, Yonina bat David HaKohen Vasara, and Esther bat Chaim Vagoldi. If you are thinking of someone else, please say their name as I look in your direction. May they all get a refuah shlema, a complete healing. We give our healing prayer in the form of a song, Misha Barak. It is on the inside back cover of your Siddur. Misha Barak Avoteinu Mikor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength who bless We are thinking also of the healing of our country, and so, which also needs healing very badly. And let's pray for that on page 148 at the bottom of the page. Please read with me. Our God and God of our ancestors, we ask your blessings for our country, for its government, for its leaders and advisors, and for all who exercise just and rightful authority. Teach them insights from your Torah, that they may administer all affairs of state fairly, that peace and security, happiness and prosperity, justice and freedom may forever abide in our midst. Creator of all flesh, bless all the inhabitants of our country with your Spirit. May citizens of all races and creeds forge a common bond in true harmony, to banish hatred and bigotry, and to safeguard the ideals and free institutions that are the pride and glory of our country. May this land, under your providence, be an influence for good throughout the world, uniting all people in peace and freedom, helping them to fulfill the vision of your prophet. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they experience war anymore. And let us say, Amen. We continue on page 51. Please rise for Aleinu if you are able. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu noteh shamayim v'yosed haaretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinatu zo, begovei meromim, hu Eloheinu einod, emet malkeinu efesulato, kakatu b'torato, ve'adata hayom v'hashevota elevavecha, ki Adonai hu Elohim, b'shamayim mima'al, ve'al haaretz mitachat, einod, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo echad. You may be seated. It is now time for us to remember the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. Our congregational family remembers with special affection our loved ones whose Yahrzeit will occur this coming week. Celia Glazer, mother of Sandra Glazer. Nettie Kamens, mother of Michael Kamens. Minna Schindler, mother of Nancy Methelus. Natalie Berkowitz, mother of Michael Berkowitz. Alan Lieberman, uncle of Paul Kaufman. Sidney Akel, grandfather of Karen Levine. Bert Spiegel, husband of Rhonda Spiegel. Morris Albert, father of Ruth Albert. Wendy Ostrov Corbett, friend of Ellen Spector. Marion Meyer, mother of Ross Meyer. If you are remembering someone this evening, we invite you to say that person's name aloud now. Oh.
My mother, Marcia Lugel.
Zichronam livracha. May the memory of all our dear ones be a blessing. If you are saying Kaddish in someone's memory tonight, we ask you to rise now. In loving support of the mourners, we rise as a congregation. In gratitude to God for the gift of the lives of their loved ones, those who are in mourning and those remembering someone, say Kaddish on page 52. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach, le'olam ulomei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You may be seated. Are you doing announcements, Ruthie? It is time for announcements, read by our very own Ruthie Albert, representing our board of directors. You should do that so that it can be heard. Yeah.
Maybe. Welcome to TCS, where we value innovation, education, building community, honoring individuality, drawing meaning from Judaism, and upholding our social responsibilities. All our programs, including the ones I will mention today, reflect these values. Tomorrow, no Saturday morning Torah study until August 20th, when the rabbi returns. Havdalah services tomorrow at 7 p.m., led by, ta-da, David. Sunday, August 21st at TCS.
That's on Zoom, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, no, right.
Don't come here for them. I won't be here.
Welcome back. Brunch for Rabbi is August 21st. It's 11 to 2. We hope people will come and welcome them back. Sunday, August 21st, the same day, and the afternoon's busy. The afternoon, 4 to 7. After you celebrate the rabbi coming, you can swim. The TCS Sisterhood Swimming Pool Party. Friday, August 26th at TCS at 6:30. Shabbat Nasera and wedding celebrations with potluck dinner for David and Annie. Yay! Let's see. Complete information in your weekly email. Family Table is sponsored by the Jewish Family Services. Its mission is to alleviate hunger in our community in a way that meets nutritional and spiritual needs. Our temple is committed to collecting 30 cans of tuna fish and 30 cans of low-sodium vegetable soup each month. Please remember to bring your cans when you come to the temple. There is a wooden container in the foyer for your canned goods. Remember, information and links to all activities are included in your weekly emails on Monday, as well as special notices. Please remember to return your name badges to the drawer in the foyer before you leave the temple. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Ruthie.
You're welcome.
As I mentioned at the beginning of the service, it's a very unusual day today because it is both Tisha B'Av by the calendar, but it's not Tisha B'Av by the observance. Tisha B'Av by the observance will be tomorrow night. And but since we are not gathering tomorrow night, I want to talk just a little bit about that, and we'll close with a song about Tisha B'Av that I wrote. So I wrote this song because it's called Losing Everything We Love on Tisha B'Av, because it's on page 13 of the Siddur Supplement. Because the tragedy of the day and the sadness of the day, I think, is very hard for us to comprehend. You know, the main thing that we're told is that the temples were destroyed. And big deal. You know, a building was destroyed. But it was much, much more than that was going on. The temples were destroyed because we were in a war. And we lost the war, and a lot of people were killed in the war, both in fighting and being slaughtered by the Roman and Babylonian armies. And also the mode of warfare is that they surround the city of Jerusalem and lay siege to it, so people were starving to death in horrible ways. So there was a tremendous loss of life. And then people were also, as was the norm in the ancient world, taken as slaves. So people were enslaved, which was a very horribly painful, more painful than I think any of us could really imagine. And then added to that is the irony of our whole national story is about having been slaves and having been freed from being slaves, and then being enslaved again. And then also those who were not enslaved or killed, those who were left behind, were left with a spiritual void. That there was no such thing as being secular then, like we have now, where you could just find your community and meaning in life from some other thing. That didn't really exist in the ancient world. And there was no such thing as Judaism as we know it today, that we have temples in every city that we could go to, or we could pray at home. None of that was in existence yet. The only way people knew how to connect with God was through these temples that were destroyed. And so the destruction of those temples meant a severing, people felt, of their way to connect with God and find meaning in life and to find hope. Thank God we've got other ways to connect with God now. Those exist because rabbis came and were creative out of necessity. They formed the synagogue out of necessity after the temples were destroyed. They formed private prayer, the Siddur, out of necessity, our prayer service out of necessity after the temple was destroyed. They had to reinvent Judaism. But there was a time before the reinvention happened. And we're the beneficiaries of that reinvention. That's why Judaism has survived. This kind of thing happened to all kinds of other ancient peoples, and they basically just ceased to exist after an event like this. It's the miracle that we're living with of the Jewish people, that an effort was made by leaders to reinvent our peoplehood and our religion. And it worked. That's the real miracle. They tried it and it worked. And that's why we're still here. Baruch Hashem, thank God. And one other thing I'll add about Tisha B'Av is that, yes, it is the saddest day on the Jewish calendar. On the other hand, I know some very serious Jews that say, you know what? The Jewish people have Israel back. The Jewish people have Jerusalem back. Why are we doing this? Why are we so sad? We've regained what we lost. And there's something to be said for that. We don't have the same kind of worship in temples. I don't know that that's what we want at this point. Judaism has been reinvented. But we do have Israel and Jerusalem back. They're very problematic, as we know. But it's something to think about. So let's close with singing this song, Losing Everything We Love, on Tisha B'Av, on page 13 of the supplement. The stones are on the ground, they've torn the temple down, and everything still standing is in flames. We can't even pray, we don't know what to say. The only way we've ever known is gone. We've lost our holy home, so many people gone. We're losing everything we love on Tisha B'Av. We've lost our holy home, so many people gone. We're losing everything we love on Tisha B'Av. God, please give a new way to live. Please help us see a new way to be. Please show children are in chains to be enslaved again, like everything we worked for never was. And when we cried in prayer, seemed like you weren't there, and now it's dark as night in the light of day. We've lost our holy home, so many people gone. We're losing everything we love on Tisha B'Av. We've lost our holy home, so many people gone. We're losing everything we love on Tisha B'Av. Oh God, please give a new way to live. Please help us see a new way to be. Please show the way to pray. We've lost our holy home, so many people gone. We're losing everything we love on Tisha B'Av. We've lost our holy home, so many people gone. We're Tisha B'Av. We're losing everything we love on Tisha B'Av. We're losing everything we love on Tisha B'Av. Shabbat Shalom. We'll continue with Kiddush and Motzi in the foyer.